Hello, my name's Megan Thoreau from OSU Extension, and I'm here to highlight tech policy leader Joi Olivia Chaney. She's fighting for civil rights legislation of the future. The real-time historic significance. Joi is a leader for our civil rights. She's fighting to update and modernize the civil rights agenda to protect personal data and provide digital equity and inclusion of broadband access to marginalized people in our country. Her mission is to help African Americans and others in underserved communities achieve their highest true social parity, economic self-reliance, power, and civil rights. Joi works to promote economic empowerment through education and job training, housing and community development, workforce development, entrepreneurship, health, and quality of life initiatives. Additionally, she works on developing strategies for organizations and companies that are seeking to achieve justice, opportunity, and inclusion for Americans' underserved communities. She has an interest in the greater Washington, D.C. area, New York State, and Florida, her hometown. She seeks to further civil rights and criminal justice, expand economic opportunity, and advance diversity and inclusion for all, beginning with women and girls and persons of color. She's the executive director of the Washington Bureau and senior vice president of policy and advocacy of the National Urban League and founder and principal of JOI Strategies. Previously, Joi served as a political appointee in the Obama administration and a senior advisor to the chair of the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. The Commission enforces federal law prohibiting employment discrimination, including compensation discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, pregnancy, gender identity, national origin, age over 40, disability, or genetic information. Prior to joining the Commission, she served as the Director of Government Relations in Planned Parenthood Federation of America, the nation's leading sexual and reproductive health care provider, and advocate as a policy director and counsel to the U.S. Senate Democratic Policy Committee. At the Senate, she worked on judiciary, labor, immigration, commerce, and housing issues, as well as issues impacting women and African American, Latino, LGBT communities. And early in her career, she served as an associate at the former Bach Robinson and Lewis PLLC in Washington, D.C., and as the director for the student chapters at the American Constitution Society for Law and Policy. Her education is from Harvard Law School, and she has a BS in political science from Howard University. Under her leadership, she has defined tech goals: bridging the digital divide with equitable and inclusive intent. Access to affordable, reliable, high-speed internet is a civil right, and for those who remain on the wrong side of the digital divide, economic and educational and civil engagement opportunities are increasingly out of reach. The consequences of not being connected impact more than the households that remain offline. It has a rippling effect throughout the country, particularly as it relates to our economic future. The problem and the need for change. Access to high-speed internet is now essential to full participation in our society. Therefore, access to reliable high-speed internet becomes a civil right. People need to care about broadband because it's becoming an economic justice issue. It's an educational issue. It's a healthcare issue. Access to affordable internet determines if someone can apply for a job, maintain a remote job, start a business, access training or educational opportunities, or access critical health care systems. It also has a digital sphere that requires additional tech privacy rights and protections, especially after the recent court decision this summer. The role tech companies play in today's culture and society have increased responsibility to protect personal data, especially women's data, potentially being targeted by laws and hackers to release their data for harm, such as app tracking productive health. Americans need to move away from our individualistic attitudes and self-serving interests and realize e pluribus unum, the motto for the first Great Seal of the United States by John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson in 1776. The Latin phrase, one from many, it offers a strong statement of the American determination to form a single nation from a collection of states. From the collective good of all to benefit and strengthen the nation as a whole. A motto that many have forgotten to apply to today's decision-making processes and leadership. The need to influence is important to achieving goals. Joi has focused her organizations and work to influence House committees such as the Economic Disparity and Fairness and Growth, to influence consumers and technology developers, voters, creators, and entrepreneurs. Companies must increase racial equality commitments in corporate board memberships, in the C-suites, in procurement, in philanthropic work, and in community investment. The Department of Commerce, the FCC, the Small Business Administration should measure diversity and report to Congress on diversity actions that could be adopted to enhance the performance of private enterprises and highlight sustainable success. To reach the tech goals, Joi has built and worked towards change. Her work and organizations have developed the Lewis Latimer Plan, a national urban league approach to digital equity. Goals are reached by speaking out, going on podcasts such as the Washington Tech Podcast, and talking about the digital divide and how technology impacts our lives. Goals are reached by testifying to Congress to influence the active decision-making process on policy, establishing sustainable funding mechanisms for more affordable connective programs, reporting misinformation to social media providers to stop the spread of misinformation in circulation, by connecting stakeholders to the state broadband offices that distribute the monies from the bipartisan infrastructure bill to spend equitably on the ground, by staying active, informed on policy recommendations, laws, bills, and disseminating that information related to privacy rights, equitable high-speed internet to marginalized communities, prohibiting companies from using personal data to discriminate based on protected characteristics that may impact housing, education, and healthcare decisions, by ensuring automatic decision-making processes are tested for bias to minimize what data companies can be allowed to collect, define what permissible or impermissible data uses are, to hold accountable stakeholders, leaders, businesses, companies to DEI policy, in ensuring the e pluribus unum. Everyone is better off when marginalized communities are equipped with resources they need, not just to survive, but to thrive as one nation. Again, my name is Megan Thoreau from OSU Extension. I appreciate your time in listening and learning about a policy tech leader in the DC area that has been impacting and influencing policy that will benefit our entire nation. If you want to look up any images that you saw or want additional resources, just pause here and do some further investigation. Thank you.